You'll never believe it. This is a German sci-fi masterpiece made 100 years ago. In the future world of 2026, human beings are divided into two classes, the rich and the poor. The rich live in a modern metropolis with tall buildings. They live a life of luxury and extravagance, while the poor can only work as laborers, working day and night in the dark and damp dungeons to keep the upper-class city running. The metropolis is ruled by the capitalist Fredricksen. He has the ultimate power here. He favored his only son, Fred, for he had built a paradise garden for his pleasure. Living in his ivory tower, Fred never knew the suffering of the world, until one day, a schoolmistress from the dungeons with a group of ragged children entered the garden unintentionally. Fred was instantly attracted to the governess' beauty, and his chest was pounding. After the governess was driven back to the dungeon by the butler, Fred did not hesitate to follow her back to the dungeon. But when he reached the dungeon, Fred was stunned by the sight in front of him. Countless workers were working in front of huge machines. They were rigidly and blindly operating the machines. Suddenly, an older worker collapsed from exhaustion. The machine, out of control, quickly exploded. The workers were instantly killed and injured. The machine looked like a man-eating monster to Fred. A batch of workers were mercilessly devoured by it. But such accidents are commonplace in the eyes of the workers. As soon as the dead and wounded were taken away, another group of workers took their place. It's as if nothing ever happened. The lives of the workers were as if they were nothing. Fred was devastated. He ran away like a madman. He went to his father's office. He questioned his father in an agitated manner. Why is it that we are all human beings? Some can enjoy life in the city, while others have to live in a dark underground city. They live with machines, and if they're not careful, they'll lose their lives. But his father told him coldly that they belonged there. It was their destiny. Fred was disappointed in his father. He decided to change things on his own. In order to get to know the dungeon better, he switched identities with a worker. At work, the other worker mistook Fred for a fellow worker, so he went up to him and quietly reminded him that the old place, Maria, was going to speak again tonight. He didn't understand what it meant, but after work was done, Fred dragged his weary body along and followed his mates to the catacombs. Here, Fred saw the beautiful schoolteacher from the daytime. It was Maria. Maria called on the workers to unite, to fight for more legal rights from the ruler Fredricksen, shorten the unreasonable working hours, and more security for the workers. At the same time, Fredricksen also learned from his foreman that the workers often gathered illegally, so he secretly came to Maria's speech. He secretly listened in on the proceedings. Seeing that the goddess in his heart was in agreement with him, Fred immediately came forward and offered his services to Maria. Maria recognized Fred immediately, with Fredricksen's baby boy at her side. Wouldn't that make things twice as easy? As they looked at each other, love sparked between them. Fredricksen was furious at what he saw. He would never allow Maria to become the spiritual leader of the workers, to influence his own rule. So Fredricksen went to the city's top scientist. He asked him to build a robot that looked exactly like Maria. He wanted to use the robot to drive a wedge between the workers and Mary. Then the scientist secretly kidnapped Maria and started building a robot based on her.